Hello, my name is Kathy, and today I'll be discussing how to use homeopathic remedies on ailments, continuing with Fertility and Pregnancy F to H. But before I do this, I wanted to let you know that because I have a great many videos now on many different topics, that I've decided to make several different video playlists so that it's easier to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. Please refer to my How to Use Homeopathic Remedies video before using the material in this video. I'll be discussing how to use homeopathic remedies on specific ailments, but I've broken these ailments into categories for easier reference. I'll begin with ailments of the mind and emotions, then I'll move on to ailments of the brain and nervous system, then I'll address issues with your skin, nails, hair, ears, eyes, nose, teeth, gums, lungs, respiration, heart, blood, circulation, muscles, bones, joints, esophagus, stomach, duodenum, small and large intestine, liver, gallbladder, pancreas, kidney, bladder, then ailments specific to women and specific to men, then issues of the hormones and metabolism, then homeopathic remedies on infections, infestations in the immune system, then issues surrounding fertility, pregnancy, childbirth, postnatal problems, homeopathic remedies for infants, diseases in childhood and special issues of adolescence, and finally, special issues of the elderly. Constitutional treatment involves treating the totality of the individual person. Everyone is a unique individual with a unique physiology that responds to substances differently. In homeopathy, it is recognized that people will react strongly to certain remedies, and as a result of this, they can be loosely placed into different categories called constitutional types. Homeopaths talk of, for example, phosphoric types. These are people who react strongly to phosphorus, or Arsenicum album types, those who react strongly to Arsenicum album. The belief is that people of one type share similarities in terms of body shape, character, and personality, and the sorts of diseases from which they suffer. As an example, nature-mirrored people tend to be pear-shaped, have a dark complexion, be fastidious and rigid in personality, and keep themselves to themselves. They also crave salt and suffer from constipation. As another example, lycopodium types tend to be tall, gangly, and of a stooped appearance, with an anxious expression and a craving for sweets and a propensity to produce intestinal gas. Now, of course, constitutional types have their limitations. In reality, each person is an individual, and so there are as many constitutional types as there are human beings. An account must be taken of the sum total of the person's inherent predispositions, past illnesses, diet, general reactions to the environment, intellectual and emotional features, and general attitude towards life. This is what's meant by constitutional treatment. I'll be making detailed videos of the various constitutional types after I've completed the use of homeopathic remedies on ailments. The ideas, procedures, and suggestions in this video and all my homeopathic videos are not intended as a substitute for the medical advice of a trained health professional. Consult your physician before adopting the suggestions in this video. If you're pregnant, do not attempt these techniques without the approval of your physician. So, let us continue with learning how homeopathic treatments can help with fertility and pregnancy, F to H. Each month during a woman's reproductive years, a ripe egg is released from her ovary and enters the fallopian tube, and the mucus of the entrance of the womb at this time becomes less sticky. If intercourse takes place, millions of vigorously swimming sperm make their way through the mucus into the womb and to the fallopian tubes, where they congregate around the egg, causing it to spin around with the movement of their beating tails. Eventually, one sperm permeates the egg, and the nuclei of sperm and egg fuse, and the process of cell division begins. The fused nuclei split into 2 cells, then 4, then 8, then 16, all containing the 46 chromosomes that will create a new and totally unique human being. 7 days after fertilization, this ball of cells embeds itself in the wall of the uterus. At 20 days, the placenta begins to form. At 30 days, the spinal cord. At 6 weeks, the heart. And by 13 weeks, all the body organs are formed. At 5 months, the baby can be felt to move. At 6 months, the lungs become functional and the nostrils open. At 7 months, the baby should be in the head-down position ready for birth. A full-term pregnancy usually lasts 38 weeks, counting from the moment of conception to the time the baby is born. Conception usually takes place halfway between periods if the woman's cycle is 28 days and regular. However, since many women's periods are not exactly 28 days, pregnancy is usually measured as being 40 weeks from the first day of the last period. Common pointers to pregnancy are missing a period, more than usual tender or swollen breasts and darker nipples, nausea, tiredness, a frequent urge to pass urine, and sometimes loss of appetite or cravings for unusual foods. To confirm the pregnancy, the woman should have a pregnancy test. The chance of having twins are about 1 in 80. Identical twins develop from the same egg and share the same placenta. Non-identical twins develop from different eggs and have a placenta each. Only 3 pairs of twins in every 10 are identical. Triplets are much rarer, only occurring in 1 in 6,400 pregnancies. Once it is determined that the woman is pregnant, it is important for her to go for regular prenatal checkups. Prenatal care is important since it allows you to find out at an early stage if there are any problems. An ultrasound, which is a sound picture of the baby in the womb, is thought to be harmless to mother and baby and can be used to monitor the size, shape, and position of the baby at any stage of pregnancy. Amniocentesis, which is the taking of a sample of the amniotic fluid around the baby, is usually carried out between 16 and 18 weeks, but only if a previous baby has been abnormal or if there's a family history of congenital problems or if the mother is over 35. Here in brief are some of the do's and don'ts of pregnancy. Treat your baby as a person from the word go. Moderate exercise such as swimming and walking in the fresh air are very good, and anything that involves repeated compression of the spine such as horse riding or trampolining should be avoided. Always keep 25% of your energy in reserve. Do go to prenatal classes. They will teach you what to expect and how to breathe in order to cope with pain during pregnancy. Don't wear tight clothes and get as much sleep as you can and avoid late nights. Also, don't sit in hot tubs for too long. 10 minutes is about the maximum, especially if you faint easily or have a tendency to bleed. Avoid serious traveling if you can, especially if you have had a threatened miscarriage or there are complications, or you suffer from travel sickness. Most airlines do not like you to fly after 32 weeks or so. So if you must fly, check with the airline first and stop working before 28 weeks if your work is very strenuous. The expectant mother needs to eat a healthy, well-balanced diet with an increase in iron and calcium foods, and also a modest increase in protein intake, preferably in the form of oily fish, nuts, seeds, pulses, and whole grains, with generous helpings of raw vegetables and fruit, will help to guard against constipation. Tea, coffee, and alcohol should be avoided, as well as chamomile tea, especially in the latter stages of the pregnancy. Homeopathic remedies during pregnancy. During the first 3 months of pregnancy, the most vulnerable time, you should avoid all medication if you possibly can. That means prescription drugs, recreational drugs, over-the-counter preparations from drugstores and health food shops. There is no evidence that homeopathic remedies cause any problems during pregnancy, but to be on the safe side, they should not be taken in potencies less than 6C. Except for tissue salts, it is probably best to avoid low-potency apis altogether and take 30C if you need to. For minor complaints during pregnancy, homeopathic remedies should be tried first. If you feel very unwell, see your doctor before taking anything. Fainting during pregnancy. This can occur for no obvious reason, or it may be due to the extra circulatory load, blood loss, poor diet, previous illness, or wearing clothes that are too tight around the waist. Specific remedies to be taken every 12 hours for up to 3 days. Fainting associated with sadness or grief. Use Ignatia 30C. Fainting associated with irritability. use Chamomilla 30C. Fainting due to general overloading of cardiovascular system, fear and apprehension, use Aconite 30C. Fainting due to heat, use Belladonna 30C. Faints brought on by movement, use Bryonia 30C. Fainting due to illness or blood loss, use China 30C. False pains. In the last few months of pregnancy, the muscles of the uterus start to tone up and contract at infrequent intervals in preparation for labor. There is no cause for alarm unless contractions are prolonged or increase in frequency, or unless there is a discharge of blood or fluid from the vagina. Specific remedies to be taken every hour for up to 10 doses in the following order: Pulsatilla 6C, Coffea 6C, Nux 6C, Secale 6C, Caulophyllum 6C. Heartburn during pregnancy. Heartburn during pregnancy affects nearly 50% of all women. The pregnancy-maintaining hormone progesterone causes the muscles that close the entrance to the stomach to slacken. This allows stomach acid to splash up into the esophagus, causing a burning sensation. Also, the upward pressure of the womb on the stomach in latter pregnancy aggravates reflux problems. Specific remedies to be taken 4 times daily for up to 7 days. Burning sensation behind the breastbone, great thirst, drinking causes shuddering, and marked flatulence. Use Capsicum 6C. Sight or smell of food causes nausea, cold feeling in the pit of the stomach, craving for fizzy drinks. Use Colchicum 6C. Craving for ice-cold drinks, which are vomited up as soon as they become warm in the stomach. Craving for salt. Use Phosphorus 6C. Heartburn worse around 11 a.m. Gnawing sensation in the stomach. Craving for sweets. Marked thirst but little appetite. Drinking milk makes the heartburn worse. Use Sulphur 6C. Self-help. Eat small meals at frequent intervals. This will go a long way towards easing discomfort. If you suffer from heartburn at night, raise the head of your bed by a few inches. This is not recommended, however, if you have swollen ankles. Hydramnios. Hydramnios is an excessive amount of fluid, amniotic fluid, around the baby during the latter months of pregnancy. It is more common in mothers who are carrying twins or of diabetes or preeclamptic toxemia. It may be symptomless or accompanied by increased breathlessness, indigestion, a dull ache in the abdomen, and swelling of the legs, thighs, and face. Sometimes the symptoms onset suddenly with nausea, in which case there is a risk of premature labor. The appropriate action is to see a doctor within 2 hours. In the meantime, rest and take one of the remedies below. Specific remedies to be taken every 15 minutes for up to 6 doses if symptoms onset suddenly. Fear and apprehension, use Aconite 30C. Face hot and flushed, use Belladonna 30C. Specific remedies to be taken 4 times daily for up to 7 days if symptoms are of more gradual onset. Increasing breathlessness, puffy legs and face, use Arsenicum 6C. If symptoms include constipation or frequent urination or vomiting, use Nux 6C. Symptoms come on after loss of fluid or blood, use China 6C. If none of the above remedies seem appropriate, use Sulphur 6C. I have a great many videos now on many different topics, and so I've decided to make several different video playlists so that it's easy to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. Well, that's it for now. To stay up to date with my latest videos, make sure to subscribe to this free YouTube channel by clicking the red subscribe button right below this video. Take care.